Welcome back for another We're Racing video, and this time it's the VFL series, F2 series once again, and we've got Monaco. Monaco in F2 cars. Bit of a daunting prospect for myself. Don't know about any of you other chaps. Hope you're staying safe, you're staying well, but we're going to get straight into the action this time. We're starting P12 on the grid. Not the best of qualifying, but 5 red lights. And away we go for the F2 Grand Prix at Monaco. This is the feature race going down into turn 1. We was very careful off the start with the traction. We didn't want to get sideways, touch anyone. Going down into turn 1, we've got someone on the outside, inside. It's spun us and it's put us into the barrier there. We just had to go with the flow and just go straight back into that barrier. No point in braking and taking someone else out. So we've got wing damage. And on lap 1 of this Grand Prix, not the ideal start. Let's have an off-board of the start of the Grand Prix. A good start from pole position, going down into turn 1. P3 off the grid, got a good lightning start there. Getting his nose up the inside there. As you can see, the contact here. And into the barrier. Very disappointing start to the Grand Prix. Looking to change the front wing at this point. But as we get into it, we did have a VSC deployed due to our incident. Yeah, thinking about the front wing change at this point, boxing and going on to a different compound. Remember, that pit stop won't count in terms of the mandatory pit stop for the race. So we're just going to size up the car at this point, see what it's saying. We've got a car around, Jamie's in the wall there. Yeah, and just see what the car is saying. It does it if it's a couple of seconds off. I'm better off staying out at this point and continuing on for longer. So we're thinking better of it. We're going to stay out until the mandatory pit stop phase, and then we're going to box. So we've got another car in the pits. It looks like Slay has had some contact, or say maybe a new front wing there, moving us up to P17. On the end of lap 2 now, we're catching up to the back of Immortal ahead of us. Coming into the final bend, he just washes out wide into the wall there, and that gives us the position up into P16, starting lap 3 of this Grand Prix. So coming down into turn 1, just picking your braking spots at this point and just being extra careful. These cars are already on the limit of adhesion, so it's very easy to push them over the edge and overdrive them. That's what I tend to find. Give me some tips and tricks, guys, because I'm not as good as you boys at the front, especially like DJ Danny, my teammates in particular, Ryan. Love some pointers from you chaps. But as we can see, we're up to racing speed once again. We had another VSC deployed at this point, and we're P16 on lap 4 of the Grand Prix. There's a lot of clear space ahead of us. It's a pretty good thing. We've got a car in the box now. It's Original coming out just ahead of us with debris on the track in the middle of the road. So just powering up the hill. He's going to have cold tyres, remember. In F2, you can really attack when they're on their outlap. But of course, this is Monaco. Opportunities are few and far between. So we're coming into the end of lap 5, and we're going to do our stop now. So we're going to get our mandatory pit stop out of the way. We're also going to change the front wing. We're in two minds whether to, because the front mechanics do spend time doing that and then do the front tyres. So it's taking extra long for this pit stop. As you can see, we're already over 10 seconds. We haven't even got the front wheels on. We're going to get out of the box now, and it's a 15-second stop there. So quite a long time there, stationary. And yeah, this race is pretty much done at this point. So we're going to have the sprint race after, a bit more interesting, a bit more exciting. But we've got a car coming out the pits at this point. It's Leclerc, and he's going to come alongside us into one. We're going to get better traction here and get power up the hill here. So yeah, we've made that up into P15. Remember, we don't have to stop again. We can go all the way to the end of this Grand Prix. A long way to go. Hoping for a safety car, something like that, to bring us back into the race. Get the off-board of this kind of pass on pit exit there, going up into past turn 1. So moving on here into start lap 11. We've got more cars in the pits. So that's us up into 14 out of 18 runners. We've got Slay just up ahead of us, and also got a back marker. I think someone ghosting just up ahead of us, we can see. So moving in lap 11 here, we've caught the back of Slay. He seems to be struggling quite a lot. Maybe he's got some more damage on the car, not too sure, but he's going to fly into the pits there, and that's going to inherit us the position, and we're going to go up into P13 at this point in the race. Moving into lap 21, as you can see, we didn't make many inroads after that. We was catching Original and apparently run out of fuel. Original, let me know exactly what happened there and how you managed to run out of fuel. I'm quite interested. Is it a case of if you're just running too high with the revs, etc.? Not quite sure, but I'd be interested to hear from you. And unlucky champ. So we're going to come across the line in P12 for the feature race. Let's have a look through the results. Who won the Grand Prix? Congratulations to our podium. a very well deserved, especially around Monaco. Pretty clean race apart from turn 1 for ourselves. The rest of the field done pretty well to get around hazard free, so well done chaps. And yeah, a good race, not for ourselves but for the rest of the field, a pretty good clean one, I'd have to say. We're going to move on in a second to the sprint race, looking to make up some more positions. We're going to be starting in P12 once again, I think, so not much different from the first one. So well done to our teammates and to the winner there in that Grand Prix. I didn't quite see who it was there, but congratulations. So we're going to get into the sprint race now any second. A lot of penalties for everyone there. It's one of the only people not to score a penalty. I was just keeping it extra careful through there, not really attacking that out the tunnel into that chicane there. So we've got the sprint race now coming up for you, ladies and gents, and we've got 5 red lights, and away we go for the sprint race of Monaco in F2. A pretty decent start this time. We get alongside Tater Tots, who I think we fell victim to in the first race. We've got slow our car there, and we're going to be extra careful. We've got the car inside here. It's Tater Tots. We've got another car trying to barge through as well. He's going to get through there, Slay. Pretty aggressive move. We made it stick nonetheless, and we've got Jamie behind us. We're currently in P11 on the first lap. What exactly happened with the Racing Point looking car there off the grid? Let me know. Was it Murphy, I think, why it was so tardy off the line? Did you get some wheel spin, or was that a deliberate maneuver? Let me know. Extra careful here on the opening lap. You can see a real train of cars coming through this really slow hairpin. You've got to be extra careful not to just rear end the car in front of you. So on the first lap, pretty good, clean, no contact really for us there, and looking good. So moving in, looking to make some inroads, but just keep it clean, get a rhythm here. That's what you want to do, just get in your rhythm and just take every corner as it comes, coming through here. Do not cut the corner. Penalties, especially in the sprint race, will count for a lot more, so we'll be extra careful with them. As you can see, coming through this sector, we've got a yellow flag, and we've also got some damage just there in front of us from Slay. Just nicked the barrier there, unlucky Slay. So of course we're going to be on the attack here as well, because we know he's got damage ahead of us and we're not going to have any, so we can really start to turn the screw now, get on the back of Slay and try and pressure him into a mistake if possible. So moving into lap 2, pretty clean start, and we're just shortly going to get off board down into turn 1, see what exactly happened there. So a good start from everyone going down into turn 1. Apart from that Racing Point looking car, you can see he just got squeezed on the outside of us there. A bit of contact and a few bits of body work at turn 1, but everyone comes through facing the same way this time, unlike us in the feature race. So coming into lap 2 here, as you can see, we're up behind Slay. We're also getting pressured at this point from Murphy behind. People running different tyre compounds. Some people opting for the super soft at this point in the race, which I was quite surprised about. We really want to go on one tyre only, go to the end of the Grand Prix. That's why we've opted for our tyre strategy. As you can see, coming out the tunnel here, going down into the braking zone, he's broken a lot earlier than previously, or to my expectations. We just touched the back of you there, Slay, and I do apologise for it. That's why we've slowed down at this point. We're going to let a few cars through as well, because we're just holding them up, and we're just going to get back racing again. So we've got Original behind us. Leclerc has gone through, as well as Murphy, and as you can see, I think we've even maybe inflicted some damage there to Slay. I really do apologise. It was not intentional, and just caught out by the early braking, which I think of yourself, and yeah, just put you into the wall. So very sorry about that, Slay. Totally at fault. Hands up. Any penalty that is due, please apply it to me. I did try to be kind and try pull off, but of course you've got no pace at that point in the race. This is the subsequent manoeuvres going on here. So into lap 4 of the Grand Prix, we're currently P12 at this point. We're on the back of Leclerc. We're looking a bit more pacey, I'd say, probably half a second at best. And as you can see, coming into the tunnel here, we're right on the back wing of Leclerc. We don't want to repeat of what happened with Slay here, so we're going to be extra cautious going down into the braking zone and brake extra early to get on the power, hopefully a bit better. Coming across here, don't want to cut the corner again, get right up underneath him, and it's just about pressuring people around Monaco. You can also both bin it. That is the other side effect of being up someone's gearbox at this point. As you can see, coming down into the final sector, feeling a lot more confident through sector 3. That was probably my strongest sector on this track. Struggling with the likes of the end of sector 1 into 2. That was my weakest part of the track, I would say. And coming onto the straight here, we've got DRS enabled. Are we going to have enough going down into turn 1? It doesn't look like it. It's going to be a real late lunge if we're going to do it, but we're not going to risk anything at this point in the race. We've got 10 laps to go, a long way to go in this Grand Prix. As you can see, coming down into this section here, we've got a yellow flag up ahead of us. There's a car turned around. It's Murphy into the barrier. He's out of the Grand Prix, I think, as well. Unlucky there to Murphy. And that's moving us right up. We're up into P10 now, looking good for some points in this race, and yeah, looking to really attack Leclerc. We've got a full safety car deployed on lap 6 of the Grand Prix. We've got Original behind us. We know Original's quite pacey, so we've got to be careful with him as well. We're catching the safety car. We've got a few cars opted to go into the pits, put a fresher tyre on. For me, track position is king around Monaco, and we're getting ready to go racing, I think, again. Or we've got more cars in the pits, whereas this we're getting ready to go racing once again. On lap 9 of the Grand Prix, green flag racing, and as you can see, we've got Jacob with a fresh, super soft tyre behind us. We're going to have to be extra careful with him in these opening phases. He's going to be super quick coming towards the end of the Grand Prix. If we can hold off this early barrage, we're going to minimise his advantage over us. So coming up the hill here, just covering the line, making sure we don't run wide, outbrake ourselves at any point. Keep it smooth, steady and consistent is the main objective at this point here. So coming in on lap 12 here, you can see we're right up behind Leclerc now. On the exit, he gets a bit tail happy there. You can see a little squirm. We did have a minor contact with him, and we managed to get up the inside. It's because of the squirming effect. We was on the power immediately, he wasn't, and then that just caused the overlay there. But we got the position done. We're up into P8 on lap 12 of this Grand Prix. Looking pretty tidy now. The cars ahead of us is quite far up the road, so unless they make some mistakes, I don't think we'll be making too many positions up at this point in the race. But very happy with the position at the current moment. As you can see, coming down here behind the Renault looking car, he gets a squirm on, and we do touch the back of him there as due to his own fault at the same time. Let me know your thoughts on that incident, who is at fault, etc. Coming into lap 15 of the Grand Prix here. As you can see, we're not too far off the leader in actual fact, but it's an Arden of DJ Danny with the win for the sprint race. Congratulations to DJ Danny, and our teammate is just going to finish up ahead of us due to some time penalties. So we're going to bring home P8 in the Grand Prix of Monaco in sprint race, and we're very happy with that result. Best result of the season so far, probably, in terms of like just that one race, the sprint race itself at Monaco. Thoroughly enjoyed it, had some good pace as well. Felt a bit better in the car. I do understand that we need to make it a bit more understeery because the back end is so loose on these cars. Got to be extra careful. But it's DJ Danny. We've got Wrigley. Who else we got down here? I've got a very poor view on the preview of this. But anyway, good racing, chaps. I hope you enjoyed the video. Some highlights there. You can see we've got a puncher to one car there. Original's going to come. I think he's run out of fuel once again. So unlucky, Original. I do feel for you, mate. Let us know what's happening with this fuel, man. Why are you the only one as well that's running out of fuel? Was some glitch going on or something? I don't know exactly what's happening there to you. Slay coming through, and Immortal has finished already as he was lapped at this point in the race. But thanks for watching another Weird Racing video. Join us again soon. We got the GP3 tonight. That's going to be an interesting one. And stay safe, peeps. See you soon.